Hello.
Hey, I'm sorry. My kids do homeschooling, and that's why it's got our family name, because we use this program for this on our lessons.
Oh, cool. How cool is that? Well, get started. So hi guys. I'm Ashley, and thank you for joining me tonight for the webinar. I have going to go through with you a bit of a template, I guess, and the step-by-step kind of structure that I use to start eliminating toxins in our home. So this really is for anyone at any stage to be able to make better choices, I guess, and give you some idea of either where to start or taking the next level on eliminating toxins around the home. So as I just mentioned, I've had like a nice little hives breakout from using a regular makeup that you would buy from the shop, and just from not using chemicals for such a long time, I've had a nice reaction to that. And it just goes to show that after you've been through that detoxing process, that your body just doesn't know what to do with the toxins once they end up in your body. So essentially for us, they're just hoarded in there. The body doesn't know what to do with them, and it just has this build up and presents chronic illness later on. So I'll touch on some of that throughout. So let me share with you my screen, and we will maybe now I think you should be able to see me as well. Okay, cool. All right, so let me see if I can, before I do that, adjust me. No. And make host. All right, so maybe I'll it'll just be me. Yep, cool. There we go. Got it. Okay, so let me hit play, and I will share with you my screen. Very tech savvy. Let's just say I'm more about eliminating toxins than I'm about technology. Okay, so let's jump in and get started. So this really is about you guys, and I want you to be able to jump in and have a chat as you like if you have something to add to it. And I'm going to ask you a little bit along the way too of things that might interest you or help you. So the idea of this workshop is for you to actually play along, take loads of notes, and walk away with an action plan. So to walk away at the end of this webinar and go, okay, I can start this now. I'm going to start it right now. Okay, maybe tomorrow. Although you might have a sleep one. So we're going to start that as soon as possible, and just slowly layering the next habit, the next healthy habit, the next healthy habit. So if you just jump in and try to do everything all at once, it's overwhelming, it's crazy, it's exhausting, and you won't be able to keep up, and it just doesn't work. So the idea is that these are long-term healthy habits that you're creating that you can maintain forever. So everything that we've implemented within our life essentially are things that we can do forever and can't imagine going back to not doing it. Like wearing toxic makeup, perfect example. So let's jump in here. So firstly, why is minimizing and eliminating toxins important to you? So if anyone is game to unmute and wants to mention if there's anything particular, a story or a real reason about why it's important to you, or perhaps it's something that you've just started to get curious about and feel like it's important now. What brings you here now? Anyone want to jump in and share with us?
I will, Ash, but I think you already know why I do. Like I've said before, Tane had really bad eczema, and he still suffers with allergies and things like that. So, and I've dabbled in essential oils way back in the 90s. So I'm all for, healthier way, less toxins for kids, I guess, and myself, I suppose.
That's perfect. Thanks, Renee. Does anyone else have anything specific about why they're looking to eliminate toxins? No, just
I do it. Just less chemicals, like yeah. Not, I don't have an exact reason. Just seems like a good idea.
I love it. It just seems like a good idea. That's so good. That's perfect. That's perfect. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and it's my use of eliminating chemicals is it's always a journey, and it's always changing, and new things pop up, new things arise that make you, I guess, become more passionate or more consistent or more aware of why it's important to you as well. So for me, honestly, at the beginning, it wasn't necessarily something that I felt overwhelmed to do. I didn't have this amazing aha moment. We were at a point, so I'm a health coach and personal trainer, and I have 2 boys now. At the time, so 3 years ago, I had, it was about a year and a half ago. So I had my 1 little boy, so they're 3 and 1 now. So I had 1 little boy, and I was due to have my second any day, and that's when I was first introduced to using essential oils, and it was gifted to me for Christmas, and I was like, oh, okay, these are really cool, and the main reason I started using them was to help balance hormones. So for me, I had a new baby on the way, I had a toddler, I knew I was going back to work 7 weeks after I had my second baby, joys of, I guess, running your own business and things like that. So I knew that everything was going to be crazy, and I really wanted to and health is so important to us purely, well, a lot because of what I do, but just being able to maintain that long-term health was going to be important, and it was going to be to ensure it wasn't burnout didn't come along nice and quickly. So for me, I first started using the essential oils to actually help balance and help to stabilize hormones, and I had really great results with that. But that's when I started to really dive into eliminating chemicals as well. So for us, we were already living quite a healthy lifestyle, food, exercise, daily movements, all that kind of stuff. But we definitely felt like we could do a lot more, and that we were just just tipping the surface of being healthy. So that's when I started using the oils to get rid of the chemicals and things like that. And it took about the first 3 months before I really seen a difference in everything. So financially, it was beneficial after those first 3 months because we no longer had that monthly shop of replacing all the chemicals and personal care products and things like that. The loyalty rewards program was really beneficial. So we're getting loads of free stuff. So that was really cool. And this was just from me using the oils with doTERRA. But then for us, the moods, stabilizing the emotions, I guess the skin, everything has been nice and clear, Cody never gets sick, and all of those kinds of things. So that was great. I used the oils on in the diffuser. Cooper was only about maybe 3 months old, and they both got sick. We went down to Byron Bay, it was nice and cold, and they both got sick, and all I used was the On Guard and Easy Air, and I just used them over and over in the diffuser all day. I had it heavily diluted in a roller and just down the spine and the feet, and they came good really quickly. So that was super awesome. About 6 months later, so then this has got a lot stronger for me, and I've become a lot more passionate about eliminating toxins, especially because in October last year, my father-in-law was diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer, and he had surgery. And then they found bits throughout his body as well. So he's fine and managing it, and it's basically something they can't get rid of, but it's just managing it, basically. So for us, that was a real incentive, obviously, to keep going and to I guess keep doing what we were doing. But the type of cancer that he has can be genetic as well, which means that my husband or sons could possibly have that gene. So for us, And cancer is one of those things that if it's genetic, so you can have the genetic markers, but it's environmental triggers that switch it on. So they could lay dormant forever if you're doing as much as you can to keep that healthy lifestyle going. It can be environmental triggers that actually switch on those cancer cells, those damaged cells, and wreak havoc in the body. So for us, doing anything we can to, I guess, control or minimize the environment and create as healthy of an environment as possible is really my drive now. And given that there is so much environmental toxins that we can't avoid, I feel really passionate about helping other people just become more aware of what we're consuming on our bodies, in our bodies, and just on a daily basis as well. So that's a little bit about why I'm really passionate about especially eliminating toxins. Now, I want to congratulate you for joining me today and taking action. It's the first step. So if anything at all, I hope that you take away something from today that you can really put into action. So your choice to be proactive in creating a happy and healthy life that you love. So for me, having a happy, healthy life shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be about missing out on the amazing food that you really like. It's not about, making things difficult, or that you're missing out on things, or that it's challenging. Yes, there's always going to be obstacles, and it's always going to be up to you to make a choice that might be harder and sometimes than the other. But creating a happy and healthy life that you love is at the core of what I do. There is no point, but very minimal, overall health benefits of being ridiculously healthy in the nutrition department, but hating your life, hating the food that you eat, having a stressful job, not going out and socializing with friends because you don't want to eat the kind of food at the restaurant they're going to be eating at, and being obsessive over the kind of food you eat. That is not a healthy lifestyle. That is making, I guess, better food choices, but that's as far as it goes. You're not going to create a healthy lifestyle doing that. So it's really important that you feel empowered by the choices that you're making and confident. And so what actually is low tox living? So low tox living, as you can see here, is living a low toxic lifestyle by actually choosing personal care household products that are low in chemicals and making conscious healthcare decisions, appropriate detoxification, and reducing radiation and toxic exposures. So this comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms, like all kinds. So this is mental health. This is choosing your thoughts. And that can be one of the most challenging. That's one that probably I struggle with the most, and I'm working on a lot at the moment, is choosing my thoughts, and really, really choosing your reaction to things. But it does take time. So this can also be the things that you're putting on your skin, your makeup, your personal care products, your toothpaste, your deodorant, if anything, deodorant. This can also be the cleaning products that you're using, your spray and wipes. So your spray and wipes and toxic in the, spray and wipes are not the chemicals that are in those, and fragrance especially. I could just go a whole webinar on fragrance, but if you care enough, just write this down. Go and watch the movie Stink. It's a real eye-opener into what is hiding in all of our products. So fragrance, basically, the companies can put whatever they want, whatever chemicals they want, and call it fragrance, without having to declare what's actually in that, because they can call it trademark fragrance, so they don't want people to but they can put whatever chemicals they want, and that's arsenic chemicals, like all kinds of chemicals that are banned, essentially. So I strongly urge you to go and watch the movie Stink, and that will give you a good idea of the toxic exposures, I guess chemical exposures from that side of things. So it can also be things that you're eating, so toxins that you're eating, the chemicals on your foods, things like that, and they're all the kinds of things that we're going to cover here. So on the first page of the workbook that I sent you, you have got this little graph here. So, and we've got 6 categories here, and I would like you to rate yourself. So this is a little self-assessment. You don't have to share it. You can keep it to yourself, but be honest with yourself. This is a self-assessment. Each one you're going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, so it doesn't need to be in order or anything like that. But each one is separate, so you're going to look at that and rate yourself on level 1 to 10. So 1 means that it's something you haven't really thought about. So maybe self-care, for example. 1 might be something that it's not really something you think about much. Self-care, you picture as going for massages all the time and day spas, and you don't have time for that and you don't really think about it. Would be 1. And 10 would be that you are totally nailing it. You have a self-care ritual that you do every day, every night. You have a gratitude diary. You're doing all the wonderful things, all the self-care things in the world. So start with, or start from the top or the bottom. So proactive medical care would be the things that you're doing to prevent modern medicine intervention. So now I'm not here to say that modern medicine doesn't have a place. Oh my God, it absolutely does. But the system is designed to cater for 20% of our medical issues. This system was created to help us with 20% of our issues. But we're relying on the medical system to solve 80% of our issues. So a lot of those issues can be prevented, or may be prevented. And that's things like your common coughs and colds and all, like other kinds of things like that. But proactive medical care, so things you're doing to proactively prevent, I guess, modern medicine intervention, the need for that. You've got self-care, so the things that you're doing for yourself, and this doesn't have to be day spas and all that kind of crazy jazz. And it can be, then we've got reducing toxic load. So that can be like your personal care products, your laundry stuff, your chemicals, all that kind of stuff. I'm a DIY queen. I love DIY everything. I do have a green cleaning DIY book that I can send you as well. So if any of you are interested in that, please let me know afterwards and I will send that to you. That's got my washing liquids, dishwashing tablets, toilet cleaners, all that kind of stuff that I use, with four, maybe 5 ingredients out of the whole lot. And then we've got rest and relaxation. So this is how well you rest and relax as well. So how well you sleep, exercise, and eating right. So just give your self a little 1 to 10 on each of those topics. Cool. I'll give you a little second to think about it. Be honest, be honest. All right. So I want you to take a little second to have a look at the action plans. That's on the next page. So this is about you creating a healthy lifestyle that you love. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. So if you haven't had a chance to read through that second page, let's do that now together. So I want you just to have a little bit of a think about what a happy, healthy you truly looks and feels like. What is what actually is healthy to you? Because healthy means so much, so many different things to different people. So if you were to visualize a happy, healthy you and your life, how do you act? How does your day look? What are you eating? Are you in the same job that you have now, or perhaps you're in a different job? How do you move? How does it feel like to move like that? How do you treat people that you love? What does your environment look like? So just take a moment to, I guess, really think about what a happy, healthy you is. And we'll also do the second one while we're here as well. So the rest will follow on and we'll actually do throughout. But the next one we've got is what would you like to feel more or less of? and what does life feel and look like to you right now? So a comparison. So maybe one or two things that you'd like to feel more or less of. So whether it's I'd love to have more energy, I would love to feel like I've had a good sleep. I'd love to not feel so crazy, mood swings, things like that. And just a brief little, what does life look and feel like to you right now? Does it feel busy? Does it feel overwhelming? Does it feel exhausting? Or does it feel amazing and you're ready to up level? You're ready to go that next step as well. That could be where you're at. Cool. Does anybody want to share theirs with me, with all of us? You're all thinking. So the next page is, you'll see as part of the action plan as well, and that's just about creating a healthy habit, a trigger, and a reward for each of the topics. So I'll go through each of those throughout. So if you'd like to skip down to the next page, which would be nutrition, if you're up there. So firstly, I'm just going to brief what are toxins and why going low tox can be one of the most important decisions you'll ever make for your family. So I'll try to keep it kind of brief now because I'm talk a lot. So toxins are anything that cause damage or disruption to your homeostasis in your body. So that's your happy place where everything's nice and happy in the body, and the body wants to be at homeostasis. So anything that causes disruption above or below that is toxic to you, basically. And these cause disruptions to any part of the body or body system. So it can affect fertility, pain, inflammation, they're hormone disrupting, chronic illness is one. And all of these toxic products that you see on the screen, unfortunately, are. And they're products that you're using on a daily basis. They're products that your body is not able to process, and the toxins are being left in the body with a slow, gradual buildup that happens over time and can present as chronic illness later in life. And so quick fact for you, of the 10,000 chemicals in your personal care products, so your face washes, body washes, hair products, all of those kinds of things, of the 10,000 chemicals found in those products, only 16% have been proven safe. That's 84% that have not been proven safe, those chemicals. So, and basically it's innocent until proven guilty. Who is going to test for those 84,000 chemicals? And how long is that going to take? For every ongoing test that they do to prove one chemical fatal or harmful, then another comes up. So it's really crazy to think that we're basically guinea pigs. We're guinea pigs. And these are products that may be safe for one-time use, but they're products that you're using every day, every week. And so that's where the issues come up. Other ways that they can present in the body is learning disabilities and defects, especially in children, mood, hunger, metabolism, so weight, libido. The body is a whole integrated system, and we need to treat it that way. So when we put pressure on one part of the body system, the rest reacts. So by the time you have an issue present, the problem-solving process to go back and back and back and back to try and find the cause of that is very time-consuming and can be really challenging. And that's if you find a really great healthcare professional that's able to, that I guess cares enough to do that as well. So toxins, and basically the way toxins work in our body is that they're not recognizable. So with using essential oils instead of that, for example, I'll use, is that they are a plant-based product. Our body recognizes a plant and animal's ecosystem. So that's why the food we eat is from plants, and our body is able to recognize those nutrients. It's able to absorb them, excrete it, use what we need, and process it. Whereas toxic chemicals, the body doesn't recognize them, or man-made replication. So if you're taking supplements that are not, if you're taking Berocca, basically, or any off-the-shelf supplement from Woolworths or any other chain store, I don't mean to single them out, any other chain store, that doesn't have a high bioavailability. You'll know Berocca because you'll pee out Fluoro Orange if you drink the orange ones. Our body, they're man-made replications of those nutrients. So our body doesn't recognize them. It can't absorb them. It can't utilize them. And so with a lot of the cleaning products and all of these other personal care products, our body doesn't know what to do with them. So they get hoarded in the body. They leak into the bloodstream, and that's where we start to see things like inflammation, gut, and plenty of gut issues and things like that as well. And just creates that toxic buildup. So enough about all the kind of scary stuff. I suppose I didn't mean for it to sound quite so scary, but every time I read it, I just get, I guess it reminds me why I do it as well. So let's go to nutrition. So if you're following along in the workbook, open up to nutrition. And so what role does nutrition play? Hello? What role does nutrition play in a healthy lifestyle? So I think most of this one is pretty self-explanatory. We're all pretty aware that nutrition is fuel. And if you actually visualize your food as fuel for your body, it helps you to, I guess, assess more about what you're eating and to appreciate more about what you're eating, and a step towards conscious eating, so that you're not just, and that's not to say it shouldn't taste good and that you can't eat naughty foods, because I do love a blueberry muffin with my coffee. So I do make them myself at healthier versions at home, and if I'm out and about and if you like a muffin, eat a muffin. But it's more about, so one, it's your attitude towards eating that food, but eating consciously, so being aware of what you're eating, and how much of it that you're eating. So it doesn't have to be boring. It can taste really great. And being aware of how you feel when you eat foods. I really say this to people because often that, my God, I'm so full, I'm absolutely stuffed kind of feeling after you eat is like, it's become socially the response to a great feed, when you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't feel heavy and sluggish and bloated after you eat. So bread is a pretty classic one, because most people feel that way after they eat bread or a burger or something like that. And so really getting in touch with how you feel after you eat certain foods can be extremely beneficial as well. For us, we've always been quite, I guess, just aware of what we're eating, and we we avoid gluten, personally for us, and we picked up my son's gluten sensitivity quite quickly, thankfully, and that was because, one, we don't really eat it, but we were just aware that when he did, he came up with a red rash on the back of his neck. It happened 3 times, and each time we picked it up that he'd eaten toast or bread or something like that when we'd been at someone's house or out and about. And so we picked it up quite quickly. So just being aware of what you're eating and how you feel when you're eating can really save you a lot of time and money later on. So fruit and vegetables that we eat are laden with chemicals. So, and toxic chemicals and that's from the ground, the soil, the chemicals that are added to the soil to try and enhance the growth of fruit and vegetables, the chemicals that are used in enhancing the growth of food, the pesticides and other chemicals that are used to protect the foods that are growing. and protect them from bacterias, and that's good and bad bacterias, because we do need some bacteria in our body. We do need good bacterias. We do need to build our natural resiliency to bad bacterias as well. But the chemicals will kill everything. So it will kill good, bad, all bacteria. So the chemicals that are used in the storing process, the transport process, and to keep fresh food on the shelf. So that shiny red apple that you see sitting on the shelf at the grocery store shouldn't quite look that shiny and red when you actually get it. Now, this you can, so this we actually, we wash all our fruit and vegetables. And when we were washing some apples only the other week with, and I'll tell you what just an apple cider vinegar, lemon essential oil and water. And I picked up the apple and I showed my husband, and I should have taken a photo or a video of it actually, and just running my fingernail without piercing the skin. I just ran my fingernail over the outside of the apple, and I was just like, the wax, because it had softened from the lemon and the apple cider vinegar, and the wax was just like sticky residue on the apple, and I could just like scratch it off. It was so thick and it was disgusting. So really to just do some simple things like that, like washing your fruit and vegetables, can have a big impact on the nutrient density that you're actually getting from your foods, or avoiding toxic buildup. So soil depletion is another one. I used to think that we could get all of the nutrients that we needed from our fruits and vegetables and meats, but it's just not the case anymore. We have the natural soil depletion over time, and the demand of having fruit and vegetables all year round rather than eating only what is in season. You can tell that by the fact that we have broccoli all year round at the shops, and you can tell what is in season generally by the price of it. So the natural depletion of the soil over time is an issue. We're not getting the vitamins and minerals that we used to be able to get from that. And also we're not eating our fruit and vegetables straight from the ground anymore. We're just washing them. I don't think I see dirt on really many of the vegetables at all. And for good reason, we don't eat them with the dirt on anymore. Hence the last point I just mentioned, or the crap that's in the soil and used to protect them. So there's a few things that you can do to help with that. So if you're following along, you'll be able to scroll down, have a look down, and it says, okay, what can we do? So there's a few simple tips that I can give you that you can start doing now, that will take you towards better nutrition and away from the toxic load. So the first one, I think I actually don't have on there, but I wanted to mention the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen in relation to the toxic chemicals and pesticides that are used on the fruit and vegetables. So Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen Clean 15 are the fruit and vegetables that you can get away with not buying organic. So generally they're things that you peel or that don't, that have quite a natural resiliency to pesticides and things. So I would consider looking up the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen. The Dirty Dozen are a dozen of the fruit and vegetables that you really should be buying organic. Things like your blueberries and I think apples might be on there, or onions. I can't remember which way around it is off the top of my head. But so look up Clean 15, Dirty Dozen. Take note of that one. And that just gives you a good idea of, if you can't buy everything organic, gives you an idea of what you can start purchasing organic. So next, drinking water. So water is a pretty simple way that you can enhance your nutrition. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go through a few points of how you can enhance your nutrition. And if you flick back to that second page that has that looks like this, So you're going to skip back to that second page. And how we're going to do this is there's a little header that says nutritional impact. And so I want you to just jot down, it could be one of these items that I go through, one of my suggestions, but you might have something else that you've been wanting to do, for example. So the idea of this is to create one healthy habit with the trigger of when and the reward. And the reward can just be a thought process. It could be something that's rewarding for you. And you don't have to jot all of this down now, but at least if you pop down the healthy habit, it's something we can work through. And you can always email me afterwards and I can help you out with that too. So, for example, if you are someone that knows you do not drink very much water throughout the day, that is going to be your healthy habit because that is important. So drinking lots of water. So adding essential oils. So for those already using the essential oils, using citrus oils. And for those that are not, I'm going through this anyway, and you'll have the chance to get your hot little hands on some if you like afterwards. But things like the lemon is just a nice simple one. So I mentioned before I actually use this to wash my vegetables as well. And because of the quality of the doTERRA oil, so I didn't go dive deep into that side of things, but they are a certified therapeutic grade essential oil, so you can ingest some of them. It will tell you on the back if it can be used for food flavoring. The highest user of essential oils is actually the food industry, so there you go. So lemon essential oil in your water bottle is going to help with digestion. It tastes great. It's going to help support metabolism as well. I love a couple of drops of the lemon or wild orange in my water bottle every day. It's going to give you that little pick-me-up as well. So we've got nutrient-dense food. So if you feel like you're pretty all over nutrition, you may already be doing this, or if not, this could be one for you, is enhancing the actual nutrient density of the foods or the meals that you're eating. So one way that you can do this is by adding fermented foods, drinking bone broth, and maximizing your nutritional intake with bioavailable supplements. So that's the Lifelong Vitality supplement pack that I've got there, and we actually use those here. We actually were at a convention on the weekend and listening to how these were, the science behind these, how they were formulated. So it's actually taken years and years for these to be formulated. And they come from a range of nutritionists, dietitians, and scientists with a background with it was like 27 years or something of combined years of working in the industry to formulate those. And they are, so my husband, after the convention, like watching the formulation of these, he was like, yeah, I need to start taking them as well. So now I have to buy 2 lots because he just willy-nilly takes mine. But these have a high bioavailability. So as I mentioned before about our ecosystem being recognizable to plants, these are a plant-based product. Apart from the omegas, which is your fish oil that's derived from fish oils, they do have a vegan option as well, though, if there's any vegans out there. So they have a high bioavailability, which means your body will recognize these and it's able to actually absorb them. There's a food nutrient complex, cellular vitality complex, so that gives you that steady energy. So a good supplement, you shouldn't get a big high and then a crash and burn. So this is going to give you that sustainable energy throughout the day. These were a game changer for me with my second boy and working, going back to work so early, because I knew when I wasn't taking them, I would take them all the time. And then if I didn't take them for a week or so when I ordered them, I would definitely see a drop in my energy and my patience with them and that kind of thing. So if you are looking for a good supplement at the moment, I would definitely recommend giving them a go. They also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like them after 30 days, you get your money back. Now, eating the rainbow. So we've all kind of heard this before, but do you actually do it? Do you actually try to incorporate more colourful foods. So it's something that I always do when I'm doing my shop. I do try to save time. I've got just trying out a new system at the moment that I'll share with everyone about meal planning and things like that. But I do always try to buy a new vegetable or fruit, whatever, to try at least once a month, or I try to do it every week or every couple of weeks, to try something new. And I really encourage the boys to always do that as well. If they don't like something, that's fine, but they have to give everything a go. And it's perfect because my boys love green eggs and ham book to read them at night time. And so every time they don't eat it, my husband and I are like, just think, green eggs and ham, you might just love it. So try to incorporate some new colourful foods. Just try things. I have bought things before having no idea what to do with it, and just had to Google up because I'm like, okay, what is this? What can I do with it? So try and incorporate a variety of colourful fruits and vegetables. And foods in general as well. So the different kinds of, the different colours of foods provide you with different nutrients within the body. So that's important to think of as well. Some provide you probiotics and some prebiotics. So probiotics, think populating the gut bacteria, and prebiotics, think feeding that bacteria. So we do need both. Probiotics get all the glory, I think, as everyone's taking probiotics, but having a pro and prebiotic is really important as well. You can get that from your foods. Washing your produce. So I mentioned that before. I do that. It's super easy. It's super simple. As soon as I get home, I chuck all my fruit and veggies in the sink, fill it up with water, some lemon essential oil, because that's got all your bacterial, antibacterial properties, antiseptic, all that kind of good stuff. That's going to help to get any crap off your produce, and a cup of apple cider vinegar, or half a cup of apple cider vinegar. So I pop them all in, I let them sit, I'm putting everything else away. I might let it sit for about an hour or so, and then grab it out, pat everything dry, and pop it back in the fridge. You will be amazed at how much longer your produce will last. Kale especially, it will stay in there nice and fluffy and green for so much longer after I've got rid of all the waxy crap off it. So whilst you might think that it's not going to last as long, it actually will last longer, nice and fresh and bright. So if any of those appeal to you, pop a little note on the nutritional one. So a healthy habit that you might be able to do to enhance your nutrition. And it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a huge one. Just something. It's about little steps. So a trigger could be when. So if you are someone that, let me just check if someone put something in the chat there, just briefly, because I can't view it. Just so grapes in white vinegar on gut. Renee, thanks. That one is so good. Hey. That's really good. Let me get cool. So you could choose another oil. So it doesn't have to be lemon. On Guard is the protective blend with doTERRA. So it has some absolutely freaking amazing benefits for supporting the body's immune system and for getting rid of germs and bacteria. It's got your clove, so it's a great mold killer as well. So it's pretty amazing to think that the same thing you would use for killing mold is something that you might take internally to kill a cold. So pretty cool. Well, it's not, because clove isn't a new thing. It's not new. It's just that we're learning more about it and better ways of harvesting and utilizing the benefits. So pop one of those down. Now, a trigger would be when. So, for example, if water was I need to drink more water, a trigger of that to drink more water might be an alarm on your phone. It might be a sticky note on your computer that you have sitting there in front of you, so you're going to keep seeing it throughout the day. It might be a drink bottle that's got the times on it. So when you, at 10 a.m., you can see that you should have drank this much water by 10 a.m. It's anything that is going to prompt you to do something. If you can team it with something else, that's going to be even better. So if you team it with something else that you're doing often throughout the day, that's going to help. So maybe if it's every time you go to the toilet, that was the first thing I thought of, you're going to come back and you're going to have a nice big drink of water and do a little movement with it. So let's jump along to the next one. So next one's daily movement, physical activity, and exercise. Now, physical activity and exercise are two different things. So daily movement is a short 5 to 10 minute routine that you would do in the morning or throughout the day as much as possible. And it's something that's very simple. It doesn't have to be a massive, it could be just 3 movements that you're going to do repeated for 5 minutes or so. This is going to increase blood flow, circulation throughout the body. It's going to help the combat mental fatigue, and it's going to heat up the tissue and allow you to move more freely. So it can be something super simple like standing up, stretching, doing a couple of squats, swinging the arms around, a step and reach, that kind of thing. Very simple. So every morning we get up on all fours, do a nice little reaching pattern with the arms, and then we'll do the same with the legs, reaching the legs under and across. I'll step up, have a nice stretch, move around with a nice big drink of water. So teaming your movement with a drink of water is going to force that hydration, or teaming movement with your water is going to force that fluid into the bones, joints, muscles, tissues, and throughout the body where it needs it. So your body's actually going to absorb it rather than just peeing it out. So if you're sitting down and you're drinking loads and loads of water all day, but you're not doing any moving, that's where you're going to feel like you need to pee all the time, opposed to someone that's out and about moving, or moving as they drink water, and your body's actually utilizing that. Does that make sense? Oh, skip too far. I don't know how to go back now. Hang on. I told you the tech part wasn't my strong point. Botox, nutrition, we're up to physical movement. Here we go. So that is your, I guess, daily movement. So then we've got physical activity is incidental movement throughout the day. Physical activity is just as important, if not more, than structured exercise. And this is the missing part for a lot of people. Generally, you can pinpoint if you're missing physical activity or structured exercise, one or the other. You need that combination of both. So physical activity is here, playing with the kids. It's getting on the playground with the kids. That's something I always make sure that I do. I get on the playground and I'm on the monkey bars and I'm playing with them. One, because it's just kind of cool. I love the flying fox especially. But 2, because it means that I'm getting that physical activity, that incidental exercise. It can be your gardening, your house cleaning. I definitely don't get mine from house cleaning. But I get it from my physical activity from other areas. So this is, any kind of incidental exercise. Now, there's been so much research that's gone into this and showed that having daily physical activity is more beneficial in preventing long-term chronic illness than structured exercise 2 to 3 times a week. So that day, if you're sitting at a desk job and you're hitting the gym 3, 4, 5 times a week for an hour or so, that's not enough. You need to be doing physical activity. Hitting the gym 3 times a week, perfect. You've got that structured exercise, but then that daily physical activity every day. Parking further away from the shops, just little simple things like that. Now, structured exercise, variability is the key, because different kinds of exercise are going to target different health concerns. So, for example, we need that strength training to help increase bone density. We've got injury prevention, strength, anti-aging, and more. So structured exercise is still really important. If you need some help with that, you can come see me too if you happen to be local. I can help you with that at our studio. So physical activity and exercise are 2 very important things, but you do need to combine them both. Now, preventing physical pain has a big impact from avoiding toxic chemicals, because of the build-up that's presented with inflammation. Reducing toxic load is going to help to increase blood flow, circulation. It's going to help to stimulate the lymphatic system as well, and allowing the body to actually excrete toxic chemicals. That movement is going to help to excrete the chemicals. So all 3 combined is going to be a recipe for success. So a few points here we've got that could be for you. So if you're someone that knows you just don't move enough, whether it's physical activity or structured exercise. Let's pop a little healthy habit down there on the physical activity. So that'll be page 3, I think that'll be on. So if you've got that printed out, go to that, grab your pen. And if anyone wants to chime in and mention what their, if they have a habit that they would like to form. So, and make it a little bit specific. So I'm sure everyone's heard of the SMART, measurable, and to be measurable in time. You don't have to go that in depth, but it could be something like going for a 5-kilometre walk 3 times a week, or a 2-3 kilometre walk 3 times a week, or having a daily movement routine that you're going to do every morning that's literally 5 minutes. So pop down what your healthy habit might be, and I'll go through a couple of them that I suggest that might be simple for you. So implementing a morning movement routine, keep it simple, do it every day, make it a habit. It could be every time you brush your teeth, you're going to do that movement routine. So as soon as you start brushing your teeth, that's going to be your trigger to move. So that will help you to do it morning and night. You've got make an effort to increase your physical activity every day. So it might be cleaning, gardening, shopping, getting on the playground with the kids, using a step counter or your smartwatch. If anyone uses a smartwatch, how annoying is it when you don't have the battery charged and you do exercise or you do steps, and it tells you at the end of the day that you haven't done enough steps? Oh, that drives me nuts. I'm like, yes, I have watch. Yes, I have. So scheduling, if you're someone that needs structured exercise, schedule it in. And I mean schedule it in, make it a non-negotiable. Make it a priority. It's important for you. If you are healthy, the rest of the family is going to be healthy as well. If you're run down and sick, you're not going to be able to make good choices for you or for the rest of the family. Enhancing your recovery and performance by adding regimes to that. So I love foam rolling. We have a vibrating roller. We have a wave blade. We have a few different rollers. And if you're using the oils already or would like to get you some hands on some of these, I didn't grab the Deep Blue out. So we've got the Deep Blue rub on the screen. My husband swears by this, uses it every day. So that would be your substitute for other products that are pretty well known for using on muscles after you work out. You could do it before you work out as well. So that's the beautiful thing about using natural products. We've got Ice Blue, comes in an oil or a rub. And you could use Easy Air. So Easy Air is your respiratory blend, and it smells very much like another product that you might use on the bottom of your feet and chest when you're not feeling well. So Easy Air, popping that on the chest is going to help open up the airways. You're going to be able to breathe. It's going to help to really clear up the sinuses. It's going to give you that clarity and focus. And it's just going to really allow you to get that bit more oxygen in. So I love some Easy Air on the chest before we do a workout. Get motivated. There are a few of the roller blends that you can use as well. For getting motivated. So there is a whole range of the emotional kit. And I love Motivate for getting motivated. I really do. Pick it up, roll it on the back of my neck and my wrist and smell, and gets me motivated. So there's a few of those ones that you can do. Smart and Sassy is a metabolic blend. So that's going to help to give you that same kick as well. Popping that in your water bottle. Easy Air and Peppermint are also the really good ones for helping to open up the airways. So any of those might be a trigger for you. So if you're already using the oils or you'd like to get some oils to try, something like adding the Easy Air before your workout, or when you need to go do something and you just don't feel like it, popping some of that on as a habit is really going to get you, is really going to help you ticking those boxes. So the last 3 that we've got. Okay, so I'm going to cruise through. So we've got rest and relaxation. And this one is about how well do you sleep? How well do you actually relax? Now, this is important because sleep is the repair and renew phase of our circadian rhythm. So you can follow along with me there that without this, the body is starting the day in a deficit. So if you are starting the day, if during the night you're not recovering from the last day, you're stressed, you're waking up during the night, you're not getting good enough sleep, the hormones are not recovering, the digestive system's not recovering, everything is not coming back to that homeostasis. So the next morning, you're starting in a deficit. You're starting the body in a, digestive state that's not back up to where it should be, a hormone state that hasn't been replenished, overall, like a mental state that hasn't been replenished.
You shouldn't be.
A hormone place that hasn't been replenished. So if you're starting the body in a deficit, if you're starting the day in a deficit, and this is happening again and again and again over time, you're eventually starting the day down here. So the recovery to get back to here is going to be immense. And it would present as some kind of breakdown or anything like that shows up, and it could be too late.
For anything.
So that is really, so that just shows how important sleep is. So melatonin is our sleep hormone. It's promoted, it's triggered with sun up and sundown. So often if people have sleep issues, they're prescribed melatonin. Now, if you imagine your body, if it wants to get to a homeostasis, so if you're putting artificial melatonin in the body, it goes, oh, well, hey, we've already got melatonin. We don't need any more. We're going to stop making it. So your body stops making melatonin, throws those resources into doing something else where it's needed. And so then you're in this reliant of an artificial melatonin and could be long-term sleeping tablets as such. So you really need to be conscious of that if you get started on something along those lines, because the process of getting off them is really important, because if that's not in check, then something else is going to be out of whack as well. It's going to throw everything else out of alignment. So working naturally with natural ways to get that melatonin switching on and off with sun up and sun down is really important. So let's have a little chat about how we can do that. So if you know you don't sleep well or rest well, then this could be a good one for you as well. So pop down a little healthy habit that might click home to you. So having a relatively consistent bedtime. This is way past my bedtime, so I'm probably jabbering a little bit. So having a relatively consistent bedtime. Now, this doesn't mean you're a child and have to go to bed at that time, but it's a pretty good idea to have some kind of consistency. And that's what we teach our kids. We try to create a consistent, bedtime routine for them. That's what we need. That's our body's trigger to replenish all of those hormones and everything else that we've lost throughout the day. So stop using technology or devices within 2 hours of bedtime. So this is past it for me, but you can get blue light blocker glasses as well. And some apps, there are some apps that you can get to. So it will actually block the blue light from the screen, which is the light ray that suppresses your melatonin. So when you're using technology, watching TV even, playing on the phone, your body thinks that it's still daytime. It's the blue light ray out of that makes our body think that it's still daytime, so it suppresses the melatonin release, natural release. So you can get blue light blockers and glasses and things like that if you are someone that stays up late often, and maybe getting into a habit of that would be good so that your body is getting used to it being nighttime. Creating a bedtime routine. And this is up to you. What do you like? Do you like to give yourself a little massage, just put some moisturizer on, get back in touch with yourself? What works for you and what is relaxing for you? Because what's relaxing for you might not be relaxing for me, and vice versa. A bath, so for some people, a bath, some ideas for you. Starting a gratitude diary. Now, there is a lot to be said that there is so much scientific research that has gone into the benefits of writing a gratitude diary, of writing 3 things that you're grateful for every day. And this can have a real shift on your mindset. Now, doing some comfortable stretches or movements, so a nighttime routine. I mentioned a daily movement routine for the morning, but a daily movement routine for the nighttime can help to create that blood flow and circulation before you're about to lie down for the next 8 hours and essentially not do any of
Oh,
creating
stop it.
blood circulation. And then we have got enhancing your sleep quality using essential oils. Now, this is one that we do every single night. So my favourite one actually isn't up there, and it's just been released in Australia, and I'm so excited because I've been having to buy it overseas, and that is Magnolia. Magnolia will come in a roller bottle, and it has 5 times more linalool than lavender. Linalool is the sleepy, calming, relaxing component of lavender. It's got 5 times more. Awesome, and it smells divine. So this is what I like. I keep a roller next to the bed so I can just pop some on the temples and on the back of the neck. And if I wake up during the night, I just reach for my roller, pop it on the temples, back of the neck. Nice big breath in, slow breath out, and I'm going to relax. So that slow breath out triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest state of the body. So again, pop down any kind of, I pressed the button then, pop down any kind of notes that might enhance your rest and relaxation. There are a couple of other, the diffuser, we have the diffuser going every night. For my kids, I have, at the moment, I actually have Easy Air, lavender and frankincense because they're being a bit sniffly. Lavender Peace is your next level up from lavender. I guess you got lavender to start with, then you'd have Lavender Peace. And above that then is your vetiver. And that's kind of like your, I really need something good to get me to sleep. So we have the diffuser every night in each of the rooms, and it's a very personalised choice of what you would use. I use Lavender Peace in the boys' bedrooms in their diffuser. I pop a drop on the mattress, drop on the floor, drop in their bath, give them a massage before bed, and I use Lavender Peace for all that. So as soon as they start smelling that, it's wind down time for them. For me, I can't use Lavender Peace in my diffuser over night time because it keeps me awake. It's a combination oil, so it's got a few different oils in it. It's the ylang ylang, but I get a really crappy night's sleep. So for me, I actually just use lavender and frankincense. If you have any snorers, Easy Air. So Easy Air is the one that you will use for any snorers out there. Again, that's going to help to clear out the airways. So if you have a sleep, someone that needs a bit of help with the rest and relaxation part, pop a little note there, a healthy habit that you would like to start with a trigger, maybe something that's going to prompt you to do that. I actually have my alarm on my phone actually goes on. I have my night mode set automatically, so I don't know if you can see that. So the night mode on my phone automatically kicks in at, I think, 8:15, and it comes up with do not disturb during bedtime. Calls will be silenced and notifications will appear in notification center. So it has like a little moon and Z's for my sleepy time. And so my phone will automatically click over to night mode and shut down at, I think, 10 past 8. Something like that. So again, if you want any help with those, just reach out afterwards. So we've got reducing toxic load. Now, this one is, I've already touched on this one a bit, so I guess I don't need to go into it too much about why it's so important. The toxic chemicals that are in everything, they're everywhere, and it's crazy. I do really urge you to go and watch the movie Stink. It's on Netflix. I went and got myself a Netflix account about a month ago, my first Netflix account, because I wanted to watch this documentary. It's an enjoyable documentary. It's easy to watch, and I really urge you to watch it. So on your sheet there, you will see down the bottom, I've given you a little list of things to consider going and checking around your home. So I wanted to make it simple for you. So head around, check out each of those items. That's not an exhaustive list, so there'll be a million other items for you to check over. But just go through, and I went room by room. I did the kitchen 1 month, the bathroom the next month, then the laundry. Actually, I went personal care products was one of the first ones. Then the laundry, bathroom. So I just went through the house one at a time. I don't do it all at once. Really overwhelming. Unless you've got a whole weekend and you're just ready to smash it out and go hard. So I urge you to go through those items and check what ingredients are in them. and if they're even listed. So a lot of those I would pick up and it wouldn't even tell me what was listed, what was in those chemicals. One like that I get a lot is mold remover, because people like feel like they need a mold killer. I literally the other day, so I love doing DIY. I love doing DIY cleaning products, but I don't actually like cleaning, and I will not lie about we had mold in our bathroom in one of the showers. So I actually just used On Guard. So that's the protective blend. It's a mixture of cloves, cinnamon, and a few others. So I used On Guard, bicarb, and vinegar, and I just let it sit there. I had it in a spray bottle. I let it sit there. Came back an hour or two later, whenever I was doing my cleaning, and literally I just wiped it off. I had like a scrubby brush and it just like wiped off. There was one patch that still had, that was a heavy patch, that I then used the On Guard just straight onto that, not diluted with anything, and it got it off. And it was really amazing. So you don't need those crazy chemicals. Personal care products, doTERRA do have a personal care range as well, but you can DIY a lot of products. I DIY'd a lot until I've started using those. And if you are looking for natural products, the EWG, it's called Environmental Working Group. They have an app and they independently assess different products and tell you the level of toxicity in those products. It'll give you on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, 1 to 5, I think, of toxicity. You want everything to be at a 1 or 2 for low toxicity. You can look up sunscreens. So if you're looking for a low tox sunscreen, you can look up products as well, and it'll give you the low toxic brands for those products. All of doTERRA stuff is on a 1 and 2, level 1 and 2. So I'll leave that one with you. And if you do want any help with that reducing toxic load, so that might be a habit, that might be something that is going on your healthy habit list. To maybe it could be assess each room once a month, 1 month at a time, one room at a time, to go through and start eliminating or replacing or minimizing those toxic chemicals. So some you might be able to minimize by replacing, and others you can just eliminate. You'll be surprised how much you can eliminate. When I went through and took out all the bottles and things, I had carpet cleaners and all these other kinds of cleaning stuff. I literally had like that many bottles, and I replaced it with white vinegar. White vinegar, coconut oil, Castile soap, salt, arrowroot powder, bicarb soda, and that was like personal care products, cleaning products. That was everything, and the essential oils obviously too, because they're going to give you that support, all the different bacterial and antiseptic properties and things like that too. So self-care. Now, if you don't pay any attention to self-care and you're sitting on a one of not even thinking about it, this is one for you, because seriously, mental health is so important. And if you can take small steps of self-care, it can be a game changer. I know for me, just having the 2 boys, running businesses, always finding it hard to say no to things, wanting to help everyone, and there is very little time then for, I would say me, but probably my husband more so. To be honest, he probably would be neglected before my self-care even. But that is something that I actually really had to work on this year, especially as being the self-care and partner care, I suppose. And that can be everything, that all the really simple things. It doesn't mean it has to be a solo self-care either. But really taking time to look after you will make you such a better person. So for me, it's very simple things, because I've got a 1 and a 3-year-old. So I don't get much time by myself. And so for me, it's getting out of the shower and putting on a moisturizer that I've made myself just with coconut oil and some essential oils, usually Balance I love. Consol's great. I've got a few up here. Peace. So you'll choose one that you really love. And just taking a moment to actually just moisturize with the coconut oil, my feet, my legs, and not necessarily even because I need it, but just taking a moment to touch my own body, to give myself a massage, to care for myself is really important. So for me, it's always very small, simple things. I do love going to get a massage, and everyone that knows me seems to get me massages for my birthdays and Mother's Day and things, so that's really cool. But it doesn't have to be those big things. I always do take a couple of minutes over nighttime to write in my gratitude diary 3 things that I'm appreciative of. And this was one way that I actually have started to do it for my husband as well, was writing 3 things every night that I love about him. And for having a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old and like all the sleepless nights and things, some days I actually was like, had to think about it. And as I've been doing it more and more, it's made me look for those precious moments. It's made me look for those. So you might not have someone else that you need to do that for, but it could be for yourself. So it could be writing 3 things that you actually like about yourself, or just 3 things in general that you're grateful for. So I wanted to share that because I've been listening to the Compound Effect. So it's about compounding, I guess, positive emotions in your life as well. So for me, that was time to give a little attention back to my husband in that sense. So self-care, at the end of the day, let's face it, if mom isn't healthy, I'm going to guess, I actually didn't check, but mostly I'm going to guess that most of my people on here are going to be ladies. So ladies or moms, if we're not healthy, the rest of the family isn't healthy. And that can be you, your partner, everyone. If you're not leading the way, they're not following. So we need to really set that example. Self-care doesn't have to be finding time for a massage. Just something that you value. Schedule it and do it. Make it a non-negotiable. That is really important. So, self-care, those couple of dot points that I had there, begin a gratitude diary. So again, there's a lot to be said about that. Using natural products to enhance tiny moments to yourself. So especially if you're someone that doesn't get much time to yourself, take those tiny moments and make them precious. Really value them. Because at the end of the day, it's so easy to get frustrated about that and frustrated about not having a shower alone. But I long for the day I can have a shower alone. That someone doesn't hear the tap running and come running in. But any of those moments, it's really important to really take those tiny moments and make them precious. And it can be so simple as opening up your favorite oil and just taking a big breath. Balance and Claricalm have been my savior. Balance especially, I can just feel myself on the verge of like these little niggling voices that are just like, I'm hungry, or this or that, or fighting at each other. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then I get to the point where I'm like, but since I've had my balance oil, I literally have it sitting on the bench all the time. I pop it in the diffuser if the kid's being crazy as well, so that everybody's getting the benefits of that. So balance is a really great one for that. It's the grounding blend. So it just helps me to just take a moment, breathe. And there's 2 things that happen because it's the oil itself that your aromatic compound that you're inhaling, and it's going through the olfactory system to the limbic part of the brain. And then it's also the process of taking a breath, because that big breath in and slow breath out is actually triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's actually triggering your rest and digest state of the body. Do I make my own deodorant? Yes, I do make my own deodorant. That's okay. So yes, I do make my own deodorant. I do. And that I have a really simple recipe. I think I posted it actually, maybe on my Ashleigh Health Coach page recently. I have the doTERRA one as well, but I do make my own too. And I have it I've got one sitting in the fridge. I've got one just sitting in a jar in my bathroom. So I just use it like a cream. So I just get it out, use it like a cream. It's nice and soft and silky. It was a really easy recipe. Organic beeswax. Once you order the beeswax and the shea butter online, I ordered them online, like a kilo of beeswax and I don't know, however much of the shea butter, and it's lasted me, well, I've had it for about 1.5 years and I've still got heaps left. So it was organic shea butter, organic beeswax pellets, coconut oil, and a little bit of bicarb soda. You can omit that. The bicarb soda helps as the odor neutralizer. And so I do find it fine in, but some people do have like a reaction to it. So just be mindful of that. And then whatever oils that I want to use, so especially frankincense, because that's going to really help to support, I guess, skin's healthy cellular activity as well in the body. And deodorant, if anything at all, if you take away anything today, go and get a natural deodorant or make your own. They work just as well. And if they don't and you're finding that you're stinky, have a little think about your life, because that's actually something that I use to assess my health as well. Because if I notice that I'm a bit stinky, then I'm thinking, well, what have I been doing? Why is my body trying to get rid of some kind of toxins? Because sweat is important for your body to get rid of toxins as well. So I'm thinking, okay, what have I been doing? Have I been eating crappy food lately? Have I been really stressed? What's going on? And it gives me a good guide for my health. So it's about getting back in touch with you and not just what is socially normal and things like that. So I do use my own, I do make my own deodorant, and I do use that as a bit of a guide. Beautiful. And then I just wanted to share with you this briefly for anyone that isn't using essential oils at the moment and would like some more information on it. Please reach out to me, because there's 20% off the kits, which is massive at the moment. That's huge. 20% off of the kits, and I can go through with you the hows and whys. The oils I touched on today were more for the, were I guess your top 10, so you would find them in any of the kits, and I can go a bit more in depth of each of those oils and how to use them. I'm here as a guide, so if you were interested in getting started using the oils, I'm here to guide you. I've got ebooks to help support you, and any questions, that's what I'm here for, to make sure you don't buy them and they don't sit on the shelf unused and you're not sure what to do with them. That's what I'm here for. I'll check up on you, make sure you're using them, see how your healthy habits are going. That really is what I'm here for. It really is what I'm passionate about doing. So if you are interested in taking some action, getting some natural stuff that you can overhaul your cleaning products, your everything. I make my own laundry detergents, dishwasher tablets, cleaning pods, all of that using these. So if you are ready to do that, now is amazing time, because 20% off actually has never happened in Australia before. And it ends this month. So what are we in, 21st? So we've got last week. So this is the last week of those. So if you are interested, please do send me a message. I'll follow up with each of you anyway and see how you're going afterwards. But if you would like to get started, please do let me know. Now, I also do have a couple of ebooks. So if you are wanting to grab hold of any of those, there is the doTERRA 150 Uses for Home Essentials Kit. So you can look up that one online. I've created a green cleaning ebook, which is all of the green cleaning products that I personally use all the time and refill, and also a mama wellness one. So if you're a new mum, all things for, I guess typical things for babies, new babies, wind, things like that, but also mum, happy hormones, and that kind of stuff too. So I think it's got some pregnancy and labour stuff in there as well. So if you're a new mama or mama to be, let me know. I can flick you that one as well. But otherwise, I've got the green cleaning too. Find me. So you all found me somehow. I'm going to guess that was on Facebook, but I'm also on Insta if you prefer Insta. I kind of dabble a bit. I guess I'm mostly in stories at the moment. I'm getting a hold on the technology kind of thing. There's also my website and my email address. So please, you all should have my email address because I emailed you out the details for today. So please do reach out to me. If you have any questions or you're curious about anything, I'm more than happy to share information very freely. Cool. And that is me. So firstly, I would like to apologize for going over time, because I was intending on keeping that down to the 45 minutes to an hour, and I did get carried away. So I do apologize, but I would like to really thank you for staying with me until the end. Did everybody take anything away from that? You're most welcome, Renee. You're most welcome. Did you, did anyone have any questions? Any questions? Or if you would like any follow-up help or support about creating those healthy habits, I'm truly here to help as well, so I can give you a little bit more guidance with that as well. Any questions, feel free to unmute or pop it in the comments. A couple more minutes now. Wow, it must be really awesome if I covered all of your questions, or I've just given you so much homework that you're like, ah. So please, simplify it, keep it simple, pick one thing, take some action more than anything. Thank you, Gemma, you're welcome. More than anything, take action, pick one thing, baby steps. I didn't do all of this overnight. This has been, you know, the last 3 to 5 years. Realistically, the last 3 to 5 years that my husband and I have been working through all of this. And I'm lucky to have his support. So I know some people get a bit of voodoo treatment, which get called witchcrafty kind of stuff from their partners. So trust me, once you start using it, and they will follow, they will. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. You are most welcome, Sarah. That's awesome. I'm so glad. More than anything, I just hope you take something away from it, are ready to take action. I will follow up with you all over the next couple of over the next couple of days anyway, just to say hi. And if you have any questions, you can let me know as well. Cool. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm really, really grateful to have you all here, and have a lovely night.